Welcome back to another video. It's the T on NPD and relationships. Hello, everyone. To all of my new subscribers and new family members, hello, hi, welcome. And to my tribe and family at large, welcome back. Thank you all so much for coming back and watching another video, fam. Y'all know I'm always plugging that Thursday night live stream. This is where we go from healing to wholeness to boldness. I would love to see you there. Listen, I want to personally invite you to that Thursday night live stream. Listen, we had an awesome time last night. The topic was love versus idolatry. I'd love for you to go back and take a listen to that video. I believe that it's going to give you a lot of valuable information. All right. So please join us on that Thursday night live stream, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are on the Facebook and YouTube platforms, please make sure you turn your notification bells on, okay? So you know when we go live on the channel. All right. So that's the Thursday night live stream. Listen, also say what? What was that? Yes, y'all know. Hit that like button, hit that like, because y'all know I'm always asking y'all to do what? Hit that like button. All right. This helps the information spread throughout the algorithm. Listen, the goal of the day is 2.1K plus on the likes. If you rocks with your girl, y'all hit that like button for me. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Fist pound. Can we do a bump? Fist bump? Fist bump. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Also too, if you are in need of a coach, okay, I am actually accepting new life coaching clients at this time. So please email me on the email listed below in the description. Okay. The T on NPD coaching. I'll be happy to get right back to you. Okay. Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, pick up your copy of the book, Seduced by Satan. Y'all listen, you want to go ahead and get your book today. All right. Listen, I want y'all to see how these narcissists get down on a day-to-day, when they have means and they have lots of supply. Listen, this is based upon a true story. I'd love for you to pick up a copy of the book. The link is pinned in the description below. It's a page turner. It's a jaw dropper. It's a showstopper. You're only going to know that, and you can verify what I'm telling you. You're not going to know until you pick up a copy of the book. Okay? Grab a copy for yourself and someone else. All right? And recommend it to your book clubs. All right, y'all. Let's get into the topic of this video. I want to get right to it. Want to talk about when the narcissist deems you unsafe. Ooh, what does that mean? When the narcissist deems you unsafe. Are you unsafe for the narcissist? Woo, we got to talk about that. Let's unpack it. So I was having a conversation. I was actually in a coaching session. So thank God for my coaching sessions, right? Because I get great content topics from my coaching sessions. So shout out. And my client know who they are, but shout out for that. All right. So want to say this. There are supplies that a narcissist deems safe and unsafe. Okay. And so I want to talk to you about how a narcissist begins to deem you unsafe. Okay. Now, when you're dealing with the manipulation in the relationship with a narcissist, the narcissist never sees you as an unsafe person. They are not going to trust you, but they will tell you some things. They're going to be there with you, they're going to be there on a day-to-day usually. And that means that they see the environment as safe enough. Why? Because they have control over the environment. I'm going somewhere, so y'all rock with me. They have control over the environment. You are susceptible and you're accepting the manipulation, the control, all of these different things that they're demanding from you during the relationship. Okay, so narcissists like to basically, when they are in a relationship with you, they do certain things, especially during the love bomb. I'm sure you all will attest to this. The narcissist was doing their thing and they were love bombing. They were calling. They were always on the phone or the text, that type of thing. And then guess what? during that time, you were also reciprocating what they were doing, and it just came natural. Some of you all were probably just kind of like stunned by all of the attention that the narcissist was giving you. But what happens in those situations is naturally, if you are a person that you still need to heal, you need healing in some areas. You're going to reciprocate, because at that point, like we talked about last night, when you are unhealed, you're going to chase validation. You're going to chase accolades and compliments from people, and you're doing it subconsciously. Why? Because you're pouring from an empty cup. So you always want to, you put yourself in those situations. I've put myself in those situations, where, we are going to be unfortunately manipulated, but we're pouring from an empty cup because we need to be filled. So, we look for their validation and all of that stuff. That's why it felt so good to you. That's why it felt so good to me, because we needed that. For that, we were trying to fill that void in that space with something, and the narcissist was giving us everything that we needed. So guess what? We felt safe in the situation because we thought that it was just wonderful that a person would behave like that. Like, whoa, this is really good. But then we found out, something's wrong with this. Yeah, something's wrong with this. So when a narcissist begins to deem you as unsafe, what happens in a situation like that is that, the narcissist is controlling the situation. That's what they're used to doing the entire relationship. They're throughout the relationship. They want to control. They want to be your only source of validation. They want to make sure they isolate you. Okay, let me park on isolation real quick. A narcissist in a relationship, they do not want people around you that will basically give you wisdom. A person that you can talk to that is going to basically say, no, I think I would probably beg to differ on that. I think you should think about that a little bit more. Or I don't really think the narcissist loves and cares about you the way that the narcissist definitely don't want those types of people around you. Okay, let's be clear. They don't want those types of people around you. And so therefore they put you in this space of isolation. You don't even know you're in that space until you look around and none of your friends are coming around anymore. Why aren't they coming around? Yeah, because you pushed them away. You stop returning phone calls to them. You stop returning text messages, because the narcissist has now at that point taken over your entire life. Did that happen to you too? It definitely happened to me. Okay? It did. And then you found yourself in a space where they were your only conversation in the day. Besides your children, if you had kids or you had children in the home, that was the only conversation that you were having usually was with the narcissist and perhaps maybe a select few family members that you were talking to. But that's the way they set it up. They want it like that, because that makes them feel safe in that environment, is that you're isolated as well. You're not also too. You're dictated and told what you can say. Park right there real quick. The narcissist dictates to you what you can say to your family, what you can say to their family, because let's be clear, the narcissist leads a life of duality. They're one person in front of the family and friends and all of that. But baby, when you get behind closed doors with these birds, they are completely different. They're abusive. They're doing things that causes them to be sus. You just like, this is real suspect behavior. And, they'll say things, they're gaslighting, they're doing all of these different things, right? Now, when you're watching this, you want to go reach out to one of their family members and say, hey, can I ask you a question? this fool been doing this the whole time? Like this, do you recognize this behavior that I'm telling you about? Like, it just seems really different. They're very, sometimes when I'm asking them a question and I'm just trying to get understanding, they become aggressive, and things like that. You want to reach out to the family, somebody in the family, and ask them. But you're afraid to, because the narcissist has told you, you better not say anything to anybody. I don't want you talking our business to anyone. I don't want you talking our business to anyone. Don't be going over there telling my family what we're talking about in this house, what we're doing, what we, the conversations we're having, arguments or whatever. Don't tell my family. I don't want them knowing anything about what's going on in here. If I want them to know, I'll tell them myself. Okay, that's another form of control. Okay, that's how they keep you in the, that's how they keep the relationship under wraps. That's how they keep the control going in the relationship, is that, they tell you what you can say, who you can talk to, all of these different things. And it's just the craziest thing in the world, because you're like, is this really a relationship or is this a dictatorship? Like, what is going on? But at the same time, before you hit that devaluation stage, you just think that, okay, we're just creating a safe little world for ourselves. That's what you really think. But it's not that. It's just the fact that the narcissist needs to feel safe in that environment. And the only way that they're going to feel safe is that they can control the information that comes into you, and they can control the information that comes out of you as well, and who you talk to. Okay? Period. These backwards walking giraffes, listen, they crazy, fam. They are. And this is what they do on a regular. Like, this is how they behave. This is, if especially if you're dealing with a covert narcissist. A covert is really sneaky. They're going to always have something going on. They're always on their phones. If you want to know what's going on with a covert narcissist, get in that phone. That phone is going to tell you 1000% what's going on with that narc. You know what I'm saying? So when a narcissist begins to deem you unsafe, that means that now what you have done is you have started basically going against what they're saying. Okay. And not only that, when that discard happens and they, whether you discard them or they discard you, what's going to happen when that discard happens is this. Listen, watch this. When that discard happens, because it's going to be inevitable, okay, what's going to happen is they're going to discard you. And basically because they're out there playing with the new supply, whatever. And when they do that, they need to feel like they're going to leave you with no closure. But in order for them to come back, it's got to be safe. When they deem you unsafe to come back to, and they'll never come back if they feel that you're unsafe. Okay. Whenever they feel that you're unsafe to hoover, what you have done, this is why they're not coming back and they deem you unsafe. What you've done is, in the relationship, you basically prove to the narcissist that, listen, this is not a dictatorship. Okay, you don't control a person. You don't show a person that you love them by controlling them. So you begin to, at the end, you were rebelling against the whole control thing. Like, I'm not going to, and you even told the narcissist, I'm not going to let you sit here and control me. You basically call them out on the control. You call them out on the gaslighting. You call them out on whatever they were doing. If they were cheating, watching porn, and y'all know I got to be careful because of, they do sensory, but they were just doing things that were completely, how you going to have a relationship like that? So you let them know that, no, I'm not going to let you treat me like that. I'm not going to let you isolate me. So you started, even before you left the relationship, during that devaluation stage, you started reconnecting with the people that the narcissist told you that person is jealous of us. That person is jealous of you. Yeah, you started reconnecting with them because you started seeing the lies, and you started seeing that the narcissist, what they were saying and what they were doing wasn't adding up. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, they knew what time it was. But now, after the discard, the narcissist is thinking about all of this that, you did before you left. And then not only that, you basically called the narcissist out on the things that they were doing. You basically shamed them for being the horrible person they were. You exposed a lot of the tactics that they used, to abuse you during the relationship. Not so much as you went out and blasted it out to other people, but you basically put it on blast to the narcissist. And you just let them know that, hey, I know what's happening here. You just what you did was you snatched their ego. And you just basically, you put it under your feet and stomped on it. Yeah. At that point, this is how a narcissist deems you unsafe to return to. You let them know that you were not the one to play with. And when you basically decided to take that ego and do what you did with it, by not necessarily putting them on blast, because some people do that, but you don't even have to do all of that. All you really have to do is set the boundaries like you did. You reconnected with your people. You let them know, hey, I'm sorry. We went through this situation or whatever. You basically showed the narcissist towards the end of the relationship that you were not the one. I'm not going to do that. And then on your way out, you just really took that ego and put a torch to that thing. Walked all over it, stomped all over it, because you exposed them. And not only that, but in your exposure, you shamed them for what they did. Yeah, they ain't coming back. They have officially deemed you as unsafe. That's how you become unsafe to a narcissist. Okay, family? So listen, I hope that this helps. And listen, be good to yourselves. All right. And I love you, fam. I will see you all on the next video. And I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Shalom, family. Peace.